Hey folks, Dale Davidson here. Glad you're here today. Having a lot of comments, a lot of questions on the channel about spousal benefits. If something happens to me as the veteran, does my wife or my husband, do they qualify for any benefits? Well, we're going to give you a bunch of benefits that your spouse may qualify for upon you passing. So again, when a veteran passes away, the surviving spouse or a child, is often owed certain benefits, maybe life insurance, The VA often struggles to identify, locate, and pay these families or beneficiaries in a timely fashion. So as of September 2020, VA says that there's approximately 15,000 people that remain undispersed with more than $155 million in life insurance. That's million dollars, that are owed to a veteran or veteran's families. By the VA's own accounting, that's about $10,500 per family. So if your veteran has passed and if you haven't received any kind of benefits, let's check with the VA to see if you're due them, Let me kind of give you kind of a broad brush perspective of these benefits that a spouse may be entitled to. So VA educational benefits is one. Everybody knows about the GI Bill way back when in World War II and then the Korean War and of course in Vietnam. Well, the spouse or the child may still qualify for some VA education benefits. There's the VA pension, That's the aid and attendance. Remember, you got to be honorably discharged, you got to need assistance with activities of daily living, and you have an income and asset test, and we've talked about that a lot. So we have the readjustment counseling, educational and career counseling. We have commissary privileges, but realize commissary privileges only apply if your spouse was 100% disabled. Commissaries are things like grocery stores on military bases. They sell food, household cleaning items, things like that. So that's open to active duty military members, Guard and reservists, and military retirees. Commissaries are also open to 100% service-connected disabled veterans and their families. Now there's exchanges, Now exchange services operate like department stores, Department store, gas stations, military clothing stores, convenience stores, those kinds of things. But unlike a commissary system, goods are not sold at cost. They are sales tax free. The exchange operates facilities that oversees contingency sites, statewide emergency areas, all of those things. Military ID card, again, if your spouse was 100% disabled, qualify for military ID. You'll need that military ID to get on the exchange or the commissary, You have dependency and indemnity compensation. So DIC is the civilian equivalent of workers' compensation, where the veteran had some kind of in-service injury. Maybe was wounded, in battle, or maybe was exposed to Agent Orange, maybe exposed to burn pits, maybe developed PTSD while serving over in Desert Storm. You have a service-connected injury, and had to have been in service, So there are different rates if the veteran died on or after a certain date, So basically, disability comp for a spouse runs about $1,400, $1,437 for this year. Of course, every year they get the cost of living raise. So there are additional DIC allowances if at the time of death the veteran was 100% disabled or unemployable as a result of the disability. So you get a bump up in that DIC money. Add money on for each dependent child under the age of 18. You're not able to get aid and attendance in addition to DIC, so you get the larger of the two. You get possible hiring preferences, which is if you're going to work for, say, the Postal Service, you get a preference there. and then you have Tricare. Tricare is like civilian health insurance, okay? But in the military, you have Tricare Prime, which is I guess you would say the lowest tier. It's civilian health insurance through an HMO. You're assigned a primary care manager and you get referrals through that HMO. Next is Tricare Select. And Tricare Select is like civilian preferred provider organizations, or PPOs. I'm sure you probably heard about that. So users can select their own primary care manager and also self-refer to specialists. So it's a little bit above the HMO part. Then you have Tricare Reserve Select. Now that's a plan for traditional Guard and reservists and functions exactly like Tricare Select, with a significant difference. Users must pay a monthly premium, and that's because they are Guard or reservist. Now, what is Tricare for Life? I've had several clients out there that were excited to have Tricare for Life, and what that is, that's what the government calls, or the military calls, a program that provides supplemental health insurance coverage for retirees and their spouses. You got to be over the age of 65, and you have to be enrolled in Medicare Part B and pay your Medicare Part B premium. Tricare for Life is like the supplemental health insurance that AARP or Blue Cross Blue Shield or one of the big name insurance companies write out there. It gives you supplemental health insurance over and above what Medicare is giving for you. Okay? Now, what is ChampVA? To be eligible for ChampVA, you can't be eligible for Tricare, and you must be in one of three categories. You got to be a spouse or child of a veteran who has been rated permanently or totally disabled for an in-service connected disability. So you got to be 100% disabled and basically unemployable. Second, okay, you're the surviving spouse or child of the veteran who died from a VA-rated service-connected disability. For instance, you were exposed to Agent Orange in Vietnam and you contracted one of those cancers and you died from that cancer. That's a service-connected disability and you have passed from that. Number three, at the time of death, you were rated permanently or totally disabled. So, let's talk a little bit about some state benefits. Now here in Georgia we have state veterans homes. We've got two, one in Milledgeville and one in Augusta. Okay, admission is open to honorably discharged Georgia veterans with service during wartime. Now a nominal fee is charged, but eligible veterans who apply for the aid and attendance, remember the got to be honorably discharged, need assistance with activities, daily living, income and asset test. Okay. Same thing, but if you apply for aid and attendance, then they'll take that aid and attendance in lieu of the fee. Now, veterans with a service-connected disability rating of 70% or higher don't have to pay this fee. That's a big benefit to those who are at least 70% disabled. I will say that as a general rule, veterans homes are not on the same par as a private skilled nursing home, but they do have their place. But this does help if you don't have the means to go into a skilled nursing. Okay, so let's talk about the exemption from homestead tax. Okay, so if you're a veteran and you're 100% disabled and you're getting some kind of VA disability for loss of a limb or vision, and your surviving spouse is remarried, okay, you can be exempt from property taxes on your home. Now, the maximum exemption is about $85,000. So if your home is valued at more than $85,000, you'll get some of the exemption, but you won't get all of it. You get your vehicle tax exemption. Of course, here in Georgia, it used to be where when you got your tag each year, you paid an ad valorem tax. Okay, that's all kind of changed. But regardless, no ad valorem tax on vehicles for permanently or totally disabled veterans. Okay, license fees and special taxes, you don't have to pay for occupational taxes, administrative fees, those kinds of, any kind of regulatory fee imposed by a local government, you're exempt from that. Okay, honorably discharged Georgia veterans can get a free driver's license. Woo-hoo! So a member of, or former member of the National Guard with 20 more years of credible service also qualifies. So it's not just for active military who retired or active military who were honorably discharged. National Guard do qualify, but you've got to have 20 years or more of service, okay? So like the federal, you get employment preference, okay? You can get some free business licenses. They qualify for firefighter qualifications. One near and dear to my heart, you get a free hunting and fishing license, okay? I'm a big fisherman, not much so for hunting. If I was a disabled veteran, I would get a free honorary hunting and fishing license for up to 1 year. So if I was a veteran and I was permanently and totally disabled by the VA, I'm eligible for a discounted sportsman license, okay? I get reduced admission fees to state parks if I'm a disabled veteran. I can be buried at a Georgia Veterans Cemetery. With some exceptions, I can be buried in Arlington National Cemetery. Boy, I could even be buried at sea if I really wanted to, if I was that inclined. So anyway, look, I hope that I have given you a lot of information as to how your spouse and what kind of benefits your spouse could be eligible for when you pass as the veteran. If you like what we're doing here, like and subscribe. Shoot me some comments below. Shoot us an email at dearvaguy@gmail.com. dearvaguy@gmail.com. You know, we're looking out for you as the veteran. Thank you for your service. Thank you, spouses, for your sacrifices with your spouse. And until next time, you be blessed.
No more whiskey, I'll have a Coke. Catching bass on an old fishing boat. One more story from Grandpa Joe. Let's get happy before